All right.
You started it?
11th year in running, guys. This year, a grand Skillman Christmas story.
11th year?
11th year. Yeah, last year was the 10 spot.
You
So,
want me to hold it, Sammy?
10th anniversary.
yep, here we go. Buckle in.
Yeah, it's
Strap in, the ride begins.
Right?
It's on video
As
right
the video's
now.
getting turned over.
Sorry.
All good. All right, it's 2023. I'd like to welcome you back. What a great night we've had so far. And now we're close to wrapping it up, but not before things get a bit bizarre. Because that's how it works when I read this poem. Topics go all over the place. Like last year when I gifted Alex, little Joe, a Filipino cadaver's face. And that was just a small taste of the shocks. Last year had quite a few. Mouths went agape, laughs turned to wowzers, some were out of the blue. I remember trying to prod Kimmy to move closer. I told her it's what everyone wants. Then I told her Colton and Regan had some news, that she was becoming an aunt. Colton and Regan were as shocked as the rest, the Skillman poem doing them so wrong. But within the commotion and the jaws hitting the floor, that's when Regan knew she belonged. It was her first real zinger inside this poem. The first year I went pretty easy. I scrambled around, wrote a verse way last minute, gave her an oil pan, just something cheesy. Regan had been around for quite a while, dating Colton for I don't know how many years. But when the poem takes its shot and it's aimed at you, the audience always cheers. Everyone has their moment in the sun. The poem doesn't leave anyone out. It'll hit hard and furious. We'll laugh at the absurd. Maybe later I'll worry about the fallout. In fact, if you really take time to think, being included means you're someone I love. I put lots of thought in, call you all out by name. Sometimes the jokes just fit like a glove. Everyone's special sitting around this room, even those who've left or can't be here. It seems things come up where someone leaves early or someone's not feeling good that year. Take last year, for instance. Dad wasn't well, so Mom popped in for a bit.
This year either.
She ate some food, visited for an hour, went back home where he was feeling like shit. Or how about AJ? He was here all night long, but before the poem he had to go. Said he had to get up and go work in the morning, so he hitched a ride with Joe. Joe said he started feeling a bit off, so he wasn't coming back that night. He'd drop AJ off and head on back home, never hearing what I took time to write. Then wouldn't you know it, Alana stood up. She said she was going home too. I was like, what the hell? Stick around for the poem. She's going home with nothing to do. But she wasn't having it. Her mind was made up. She was ready to get out the door. While we all opened presents, enjoying the company, most of the time she was texting on the floor. Every once in a while she'd look up from her phone, and that's when I'd hear her say, hey, Uncle Steve, you're a better door than a window. Could you get out of the way? Granted, she might have used different words, but essentially what she meant, she wanted to watch Lizzie open her presents, and that's kind of how her night went. I did hear her call Lizzie the golden child. I was called that myself some years back. So Lizzie and I have something in common. Our family status sometimes receives flack. When Joe, AJ, and Alana were leaving, the great shuffling of the cars began. Plus, Dakota and Sean arrived around this time. I talked to them to go over the plan. You see, there were a few who knew what was planned. I talked to Dakota earlier in the week. We both put in motion, and he proposed to Shauna during the poem. It would be so unique. But the weather was making it difficult outside. Their presence was up in the air. Dakota decided to propose to her early. It lacked all the family fanfare. You guys gotta hang on, man. We're gonna get there. But once they arrived, I wanted it a secret. They'd go along with the verses and rhyme. The ones I prepared to set up his proposal, which would just be an announcement at that time. I gotta say, it was pretty darn cool. It gave the 10th anniversary poem a big zing. And just as a recap, Shauna said yes, then she pulled out and showed everyone the ring. Applause rang out all across the room, everyone was happy as can be. I thought Regan and Colton might be next, in a year or 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But damn, who knew in 2 short days Regan would give him the old heave-ho. I was certainly shocked. I had already written a couple verses of this year's poem. She said she needed to find herself, needed a breakup from the relationship. Colton said we're not in a break, it's all or nothing if you're doing this shit. Of course I'm paraphrasing, he probably said it different, but we all know what he meant. Even in the midst of a hard, tough breakup, he was probably still being a gent. But at the same time, there's no half in, he wasn't going to wait around. She made up her mind that she wanted out, and forever she burned that ground. He wouldn't take her back if she ever came crawling, at least that's what he told me. We were sitting at the dining room table, him with a do and me with a tea. He seemed at peace and okay with it all. It was only a short while later. But to show him I'm there with full support, I decided then and there to hate her. Okay, that's not exactly the truth. I guess she's still nice and such. I have run into her and given her a hug, but I didn't want to like her too much. But Colton, if you want, I can still be mean. I could chastise her and really scold her. Or I could play it cool with the silent treatment, just give her the cold shoulder. Just give me the word and I'll have your back. I'll act like she doesn't exist. I'll write her name on my little black book, the one with the Dan and Rachel list. For those that don't know, that's the naughty one you don't want written down. Chances are that you've been quite a douche, and now I just see you as a clown. It means I don't think very highly of you. You're like the dirt in the bottom of my shoe. And when I say dirt, I don't really mean dirt. It's more like a smashed piece of poo. But those in the list have earned their place. They've etched their names in stone. Something they said or did or both, they got there on their own. So Colton, just go ahead and say the word and I'll start to chisel her name. She'll have her own page, a place just for her, forever in the list of shame. But something tells me you'd rather I don't. You've moved on and don't really care. It's not that you hate her, she just broke your heart, and sometimes life just isn't fair. You'll find your person eventually. You've got many, many years ahead. Somebody will cherish you and never let you go. They'll know what they got in big red. Floppy hair and a smile ear to ear, at least when you choose to show it. A scraggly beard and a great personality. You're a catch, and I think you should know it. Finding good guys can be a real struggle. It's not like you're a dime a dozen. As a father of girls, I pay attention to boys. It's too bad you're my daughter's cousin.
I've said that multiple times.
Seriously, you're kind of a model for my girls. Someone I'd like them to look for. A respectful guy with morals and work ethic, a heart of gold, and so much more. By the way, I didn't mean a model like that. You're no Fabio or Marky Mark. No one's going to pay to see your white pasty body unless the pictures are taken in the dark. So, while you might have these great characteristics, as a person you might be top place. But I have to be honest and tell it like it is. You're only a 7 in the face. But 7's good, well above average. I don't want you to be discouraged. According to a study I'm about to tell you, you have reason to be encouraged. I sent this to Sam on November... What?
You're going all out on
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking.
Buckle in. I sent this to Sam on November 14th. Women are happier with less attractive men. Oh. And now it all just made so much sense how I was able to bag her back then. Take shots at myself too, guys. Guys like you and I, 7s and 8s, have chances to lay in quite a catch. Girls just want us, what can I say? With our funny and hair that's a mess. We have much to give beyond our looks. We don't have lots of negative baggage. We live life happy with a comfort and calm. We're pretty much the complete package. I mean, come on, ladies. Who wants a 10? Some muscle-clad guy with an 8-pack? If he looks that good, he's probably gay, and trust me, you ain't getting a straight back. Or he's dumb as a rock, like seriously dumb. Thinks there's wheels on a mobile phone. Goes to the dentist to get his Bluetooth fixed. For daylight savings, he took out a loan. I mean really, really dumb, like beyond your thoughts. She'll trip over the wireless network. He sees the word sex on a job application and applies, thinking it was a perk. He blows on hot Cheetos before eating them. Thinks seaweed is a cannabis strain. Just stick with us 7s and 8s. You'll be happy. Those 10s don't really have a brain. But let's revisit this idea you're a cousin. You're really just a step cousin. Oh, it's true.
Oh my God.
You're not related in the eyes of civil law, not blood relatives. Ari and you. I hear she's single, has been forever, and you're not attached at this time. You're 2.5 years older, a lot right now, but not much down the line. She's almost 17, growing up before your eyes. You can see she's a pretty young lady. You're a stand-up guy who's working on a career, and I like that you're not really shady. So if now...
Keep it in the family.
Step cousin. So if now's not right...
Remember me, Elijah?
So if now's not right because you're caught by surprise, don't worry, I'll have patience for a while. But if you might have interest and you don't want to say it, just give me a wink and a smile.
He's waiting.
I figure by now you're both embarrassed to death. You can't hide the red in your face. Thinking how could he suggest such a thing? I must be some kind of nutcase. But that's not the case. I've done my research. It's perfectly legal to date. You're free and clear to explore this relationship. Now I'll just sit back and wait. While we're on the subject of relationships, there's no way I can leave out this next one. It was another shock very early this year when Sean left Dakota. I was stunned.
He's like, I'm
He
not
had,
done.
he had just proposed a few months back after years and years being together. And then the announcement ran through the fan that they were no longer together. Dakota left her house and moved in with Tish. He was single again, just absurd. The reason for the breakup is still a mystery. He's never really spoken a word. He's kept it to himself, been very private, didn't want to talk about it at all. He moved on so quickly as if nothing had happened, like a cat after hacking up a hairball. Just go back to normal. We all just know it's taboo to ask questions like, why is that so asinine? He doesn't want to talk. Just move on. Stay quiet. Go do it. You're crossing the line. Well, I like to cross lines just to find where they're at. Sometimes they're hidden real good. But come on, we were invested for years in their love. He should talk to us. You all know he should. It irks me not knowing what caused the breakup. Maybe he'll talk if I get him real drunk. But what if he tells me some shocking revelation, like he murdered her and stuffed her in a trunk? That would take me by surprise, but at least I'd know. And for that, I'd have found my peace. And who am I to judge? I'm just happy to be informed. Rest easy. God bless the deceased. Although now that I know, I'm still a bit curious just how exactly he killed her. Did he shoot her, or stab her, or beat her with a bat? Those ways are pretty familiar.
Fishing with some milk.
Probably best we don't know and leave it at that. I'm sure it was something run-of-the-mill. Keep it easy and simple, no one else involved, just better about all pills. But enough about killing. Let's get back to Dakota and stop being so darn grim. The fact is, she left him no matter the reason. For that, I feel bad for him. She's dead in a trunk and has no more feelings, but Dakota's left all alone. And mourn for his loss, care about his well-being, and wish him the best on his own. So those were the two breakups that happened this year. I didn't see either one coming. They came out of the blue. Everyone was surprised. I hope no more are upcoming. If you're gonna break up, just say something now. We're all gathered here around. No more surprises right after Christmas.
I'm good.
Handle it tonight if anything's going down. Because I want my gifts back if anyone's breaking up. You're not gonna leave here with a haul. And put down the cookies, especially the snowballs. You're not gonna eat them all. Those are for me and people who are staying, and more than just till New Year's night. If you're leaving the family because you've had enough, just give the darn presents back, all right? Yes, gift cards count. You can't just pocket them, then go to Olive Garden 7 nights in a row. We want those back too. They cost a lot of money. Looks like we're going to dinner and a show. Come to think it, I could go for a salad and maybe some breadsticks on the side. The tour of Italy I'll save for the next day. It's worth it for the relationship that just died. So who's it going to be? Who's breaking up? I'll give you my sincerest regards, but I'm going to need you to get up out of here and leave me all your gift cards. This isn't a stick-up. I'm not trying to force it. I just don't want surprise in a week. It would seem if you're going to do it, you already know it. Your relationship's future is pretty bleak. But for real, I look around. I know no one's leaving. We're all in these couples till the end. We made a commitment to love each other, and it helps we married our best friend. So I guess y'all can keep the gift cards. Now I'll find another way to pay for a dinner. I have a couple bucks. I'll head to ReadyGo, buy a ticket, and become a lottery winner.
All right.
It's not the best plan, especially with the odds. My chances aren't very favorable. I'll probably win $2 on a $5 scratch-off, a fact that makes this plan unsustainable. If I lose $3 every time that I play, not only won't I pay for any food, I'll believe because I won, I can do it again. I'll keep playing, go in debt, and I'm so screwed.
Grandma.
Maybe I won't take that ride down the road. I don't think the lottery's the way to go. Who needs a dinner at a nice sit-down restaurant? I'll just have some tea and a can of SpaghettiOs. Nice and simple, just a few dollar meal, and I don't have to go anywhere. Sit in my pajamas, get comfy on the couch, don't even have to worry about my hair. Well, enough about that. Let's move it along. What else did this year bring? How about a couple that's been wed 50 years? They celebrated with a party and a new ring. New ring, right? There it is. There it is. They renewed their vows and expressed their love with their family and friends all around. Then we ate and drank and they cut their cake, and the only thing missing was a wedding gown. There was another best man and a maid of honor. A few toasts were given as well. Pictures were plenty from the past up till now. Oh, the memories and stories they could tell. What do you get when you have 3 children? A golden child, a car nut, and a pastor. A lifetime of happiness with your favorite child. Then there's Tom, that other dirty bastard. But
Here we go.
Shots
This is a
fired.
good one.
Oh man,
Every year.
you're in trouble now.
But seriously, we've all had a lot of good years. Many thanks from all of us to you. You started a family we're all proud to be part of, except that one who flew the coop. You supported us plenty, whether just around the corner or a 4-hour or 18-hour car ride. You've cheered us on as kids and now parents with another generation to guide. Your grandkids love you, your great-grandkids too. It makes you sound old, but it's true. You know who else is old but won't admit it? Tom, because he's a grandpa too. Dad, with your history stories and jokes, they're cheesy or not appreciated by some, but I know someday, many years down the road, when you're not around, we'll wish to hear just one. Yeah. Mom, you love through your cooking and hugs, and an Italian kiss that no one can escape. You're Nana with powers and a captivating aura. You're our matriarch with an invisible cape. You're both an inspiration to me all these years. It's something I'm definitely striving for. I'm sitting at 19 and a half years and counting. We're so close, only 30 and a half more. You've lived, you've loved, you've laughed, you've cried. It's all part of living this life. But we know it's better to do it together, especially as husband and wife. Your love has endured, your family has grown. It's all been much better than planned. Can we all take a minute and just honor you both? Let's stand and give them a hand. 50 years.
Thank you.
Right. A few weeks back, we celebrated Thanksgiving. The family got together as usual. Turkey got carved, the food got laid out, the spread looked so darn beautiful. We ate till we were full and went back for more, our bellies so full that they hurt. Then just when you thought the food would stop, out came all the dessert. Mom had her pie, but she was hurting all day. She sat around most times with a grimace. We thought what could take the pain away. Maybe some wine or a pint of Guinness. But Pam had an idea. She went for a ride, picked up something that might help and is yummy. A little tasty treat with medicinal properties, a bag with a couple CBD gummies. She took a small bite with a little caution, but she didn't feel any effect. So she took a bit more, then finished a whole one. We watched to see if she got wrecked. Some time had passed. The pain still was there. When she shifted and moved, she groaned. But her eyes looked glassy and red all around. Everyone was pretty sure she was stoned. She didn't believe it, but one by one, when people looked, they all observed it. They came to the conclusion, each on their own. She was stoned. Her eyes confirmed it. She laughed as everyone said the same thing. A smirk spread across her face. She firmly disagreed. Though her eyes told no lies, she shouldn't be driving anyplace. 'Twas a funny occurrence. Seriously, Mom's stoned. Pam said I had to include it. She told me that night without hesitation. I agreed and definitely knew it. This doesn't come along like ever, that's for sure. She's probably sitting here so smug. But we can all agree this is just the beginning. Weed's just a gateway drug. So what comes next if the pain gets worse? Something that'll really affect the brain. There's methadone and ketamine, ecstasy and shrooms, heroin and crack cocaine. She could really get addicted to any of those. My mom, the addict, who would have thunk? Maybe she should just stick to lots of alcohol and become the Pines development drunk. Yeah, I don't recommend it. It's not a good look. Scientists say alcohol's the worst. A 2010 study said alcohol's so dangerous when it came to ranking, it was easily first. So Mom, maybe you should just stick to prescriptions, the ones a doctor would prescribe. And if it gets bad and you want to try them again, have a pocket full of gummies on the side. Yeah. Let's talk about a person you don't see here today. Their absence is a little bit rude. It's been a few years since they made the trip, and it's been pretty noticeable, dude. Year after year, they've been invited, but for one reason or another, they don't show. And don't even think it's because of the distance or a few short inches of snow. We've had the talk. They've been invited, but they act like it's not their decision. But it doesn't stop me from including them here in the Christmas poem tradition. If anything, it helps to fire me up and give me some ammunition. And once I have that, I'm going to run with it. I'll be like a man on a mission. So, Cody, yeah, it's you I'm talking about.
No.
Not you, yep. You can't use the military as a shield. I don't care if you're out on a mission or just playing with guns in a field. Quit using excuses. We all have our own. But look at the people who showed. Visitor of all people. She showed. Cody's not here. They all came over and stayed the whole night. Wait a second. Where's Joe? Still here. Still here. Let it check. Anyways, Cody, I know you can't hear this, but I'm sure you'll find out a bit later. Your absence is noted. It's become quite a pattern. Maybe you're just a Christmas hater. Or is it more personal than that? You don't want to be here. You don't want to be in my house. If that's the case, I'm assuming it's not me. You must have a beef with my spouse. Because I'm too lovable and kind and funny, and who wouldn't like someone like that? But Sam, she's too smiley and huggy and stuff. It's all got to be a big act. Maybe she hugged you one time too many. Kind of weirded you out. No one's usually that nice when it comes to you. There must be a motive, no doubt. So, now you don't visit or occasionally pop in, not even on Christmas or New Year's. We have all this food and presents galore, a poem, some laughter, maybe beers. I hope you enjoy the cold of Minot, since you won't make the trek on back home. I've mailed you a present I'm sure you'll appreciate, a Viking Revolution mustache comb. Someone else who might appreciate this gift is Amanda, your fiancée. An unkempt stash could be pokey or ugly, but too prim and proper just looks gay. Anyway, it's awesome that you popped the question. On July 6th at Hocking Hills. It was 4 years to the day that Tom asked Pam. That connection just gives me the chills. They were hiking a trail, walked to the edge of a cliff, and that's where he got down on one knee. Her first reaction was to turn and say, "I hate you," but eventually he asked, "Will you marry me?" If you don't believe it, go and watch the video. She said, "I hate you." It's all on tape. Seriously, Tom has it. It's plain as day. Cody was kneeling with his mouth agape. With a smirk, of course, waiting patiently, she then said, "You're going to finish the sentence?" He asked, she accepted, and put on the ring. Crying ensued from those in attendance. Actually, just Amanda and Pam for sure. But Amanda claimed it was only just a sweat. Whatever the case, it was a memorable moment, one they won't soon forget. Now that Amanda will be part of the family, it was fitting she was included tonight. Part of the ritual is now giving her a gift, and her first one needs to be just right. I did my research. I have the perfect thing. Like me, I hear she's a fan of pickles. I found a Snickers that combined these two things. Here's a candy bar known as Snickers.
No, Harold. There's not a toy.
Another person who's probably not here, and I'm not sure if that's going to change, is Olivia, the child of the Beauty and the Beast. It's now how her Christmas is arranged. She's always invited, and I hope I'm wrong, and maybe she'll again get the clearance. Someday in the future, for reasons unknown, she shows up to make an appearance. It would be great to see as she's growing up so fast, and we don't see her as often as the rest. But she'll always be family that's welcome today. We'd be honored to have her as our guest. With that all said, and knowing she's not here because of all the family dynamics, she might need a place to sit and relax, so here's to his and hers Brazilian hammocks. Let's go back and revisit Dakota, my boy. He needs something very few people get. But what could that be? Something unique for sure. How about a periodontal curette? It's a type of instrument used in dentistry for the purpose of scaling and root planing. It's usually used in some gingival calculus removal. People that use it have a proper training. But Dakota won't. He'll just practice on people, pretend like he knows what he's doing. I can see it now. It won't end well. He's probably going to have friends who are suing. That's what he gets for practicing without a license. It was guaranteed to only end badly. While he's in court being sued till he's broke, I'll move on to someone else gladly. What about Hunter, our slick boy out west, who's stacking the cash, making bank? When he was a teenager, if you said he'd be a doctor, I'd think you were playing a prank. He was a little bit goofy, sarcastic, and annoying. The kid who grew up to be a 30-year-old virgin. But boy, were we wrong. Others are paying us rent. He's getting ladies, and dude's a freaking surgeon. Dude, surgeon. Proved us all wrong. Surprised us all with a respectable career and a stint in the military to boot. You gotta respect what he's done for his country, and for that I'll give him a salute. He got out this year. He's just a citizen now, but saving lives is just what he does. He gets off in the adrenaline of performing surgery. For him, that's his daily buzz. So what do you get for a guy like him, with his job, his house, and his bank account? I thought about getting him a book full of coupons, but wasn't new with a discount. I'll get him something rich that's overly priced. I found just the perfect thing for this fella. It's $50,000. It'll help when it rains. It's a crocodile skin umbrella. Let's talk about Kimmy and recap last year. I asked why she lived in PA. She visited a lot throughout the year and almost always was here on holiday. I said, no one lives there. You're all alone. Your family's all here in Paynesville. It seemed about time she transferred that job to come back here and just chill. Well, wouldn't you know it, it finally happened. She picked up and made the big move. Seemed so obvious. What took you so long? I know your mother approved. She couldn't make room fast enough. If she had to kick Tom out, she would. She won't admit it in public, of course, but she told me if she had to, she'd be good. This probably comes as news to Tom. He was always in favor of her living there. But Pam was ready for Kimmy to sleep in their bed, and Tom would sleep in a chair. Pam was serious. Her kid was moving back. She was ready to roll out the red carpet. Tom could sleep in a chair or his truck bed or somewhere out back in a tar pit. She didn't much care. Kimmy's coming back. She wants her kids under one roof. If you don't believe it, what more do you need? Here's just a little more proof. When Cody and Amanda were visiting this summer, you don't think Pam was in his ear? Once you're out of the Air Force, you know you're moving back. I expect to see you living here. That conversation happened. I guarantee it. Pam was probably very direct. It didn't matter much if the house had no room. She'd best not hear anybody object. If her room's a problem, there's two on the chopping block. It's going to be Sally or Maddie. The shock of it all is it won't be Sally. Maddie won't be saved by her daddy. She's getting the boot. She can live under the stairs. She can live in the shed or the attic. It's up to her, but a bedroom's not an option. She's not going to be very ecstatic. For Cody and Amanda, they'll have their pick of the place as long as Pam gets her way. Who's going to say no? She's built like a linebacker. She'll knock their ass all the way to Wednesday. Anyway, let's get back to Kimmy right now. She looks like she wants a gift. Got her a job with Backstage Access as a blunt roller for Taylor Swift. Now, some of you are shocked that I think Kimmy would know how to roll up her weed, but trust you me, she smokes marijuana. She likes her some pot indeed. Speaking of pot, where's Alana? I know she has smoked some as well. And her boyfriend Reese has the look of a pothead. It's something you can just sort of tell. Not sure if it's the hair or the glassy eyes or possibly the glazed over look. Probably a combo of all those things. Better a pothead than a crook. I wish they were here for this. Unless you're a crook because you're a pothead and you steal to keep up the habit. Then that ain't good. It's bad all around. Time to find another racket. But I'm not here to pick on your smoking. It was just a nice segue to you both. Though I'm not a fan of the weed, you must know. Just the smell of it I tend to loathe. For Alana this year, I'll be nicer than last when I gave her something pretty cruel. A Carolina Reaper, the hottest pepper in the world. We definitely would have seen her drool. This will be better, I assure you of that. I don't always want to be mean. You can sail to the sun and live beneath the waves, as we all live in your yellow submarine. I can't leave out Reese, but what do I get for a guy I don't know all that well? I should have called Alana a few weeks back just to ask for a little intel. I have to include him. He was invited tonight, and he might just become a regular. I got him a gift I can't wait to see used. A Dyson Corral hair straightener. Those that know him, very curly hair, right? Alyssa, my dear, you're waiting so patiently, wondering what the poem will bring. I'm not even sure as I'm typing away, but I'll definitely figure out something. What do you like? Like, what's your thing? And don't say anime to me. I've heard that before. What else is there? Do you like music? How about a timpani? Probably not. It might get a little loud. I don't think your parents would like it. There's probably enough noise in the house already. I knew it right when I typed it. So something else, a little quieter, something soft that no one will notice. Here's a flower that's a sleep aid and anxiety reducer. I bought you a blue Egyptian lotus.
It's like, oh.
There's Elizabeth. There's Elizabeth. Hey there, Elizabeth. I see you smiling, but seriously, when are you not? You're always happy when I see you around, and girl, I've seen you a lot. Whenever you come over, you always find me, run up and give me a hug. I pick you up with that smile on your face, swing you around like a tiny little bug. Then you start talking, and oh, you're a talker. You'll talk whether I'm listening or not. I'll be in conversation with someone else that won't stop you from telling the story you got. Often I'll pause whatever conversation to give you the time to be heard. Even if the story is wild and outrageous, like the time Miss Piggy was with Big Bird. Boy, that was a fling I didn't see coming. I checked on the internet to confirm it. It seems it happened, and Lizzie had the scoop. Miss Piggy really cheated on Kermit. And that wasn't all. She had many stories, like the one about Oscar the Grouch. He turned his life around and became a motivational speaker after a session with a therapist on a couch. All Lizzie's stories are worth my time, because I'm really just a big kid at heart. I'll play along and ask follow-up questions. I'll make sure to do my part. When thinking about just what to get her, she likes to be a meddling explorer. I got her a job at Fox 8 News as the world's youngest investigative reporter.
Hey, she's got her
Right? She's got her notebook.
Alex is probably thinking, why not me? I would like a job just like that. It seems so cool, and I could wear a trench coat with a Saxon fur felt fedora hat. All of a sudden, he's a fashion trendsetter and wants people to compliment his style. So I spent $300 on some exotic footwear for Belvedere Clio shoes made of crocodile. Lily, don't worry, I didn't forget about you. I'll swing back around to you now. Last year I bought you a cheetah with a saddle. This year I'm giving you an Angus cow. It's a Scottish breed of cattle providing high quality meat. It's not for your dad to take. Whether shirtloin or sirloin, brisket or flank, you'll have 440 pounds of steak. That's a lot of meat for one small girl, but it's yours and yours alone. She'll last you all year and probably then some, and enjoy you some ribs and a T-bone. You'll be eating pretty well, all thanks to your uncle. How about this for a deal? It would seem only right for some bonding time together that you invite me over for a meal. All right there, AJ. Time for the oldest, the one who comes and goes as they please. It's nice to see you still show up for the holidays, get some food and presents, then you leave. It's not really as bad as I just made it sound. You're always juggling multiple obligations, bouncing around between two different families, each with their own expectations. You've handled it well, at least what I've seen, and it's nice both families get along. As much as they have to, that doesn't always happen. Many times it goes very wrong. Just keep being you, the man that you are, and developing the man you will be. And if that doesn't work, then fake it till you make it. Here's a falsified PhD. Hunter can't be the only doctor this family ever turns out. We need more than one so it's not such an outlier, or people won't believe it, no doubt. Even if it's fake and Hunter's is real, don't worry, that's not really the point. The fact of the matter is you've claimed that it's real. You identify as a doctor of viewpoint. A viewpoint is the way that you see the world, a mental position from which things are viewed. Your experience in life has led to this doctorate. You can guide people to see what they see, to what they see and conclude. It's a personal thing. It's your point of view. As a doctor, you can manipulate people's perception. If there's a dog, say it's a cat. A man, it's a woman. Psychologically, you'll be a master of deception. Sandra and Joe, this is the 97th stanza. The timing is so similar to last year. Then was the 93rd when I brought you both up, only 4 stanzas earlier than here. Totally unplanned, just how things have turned out. Back then I gave Joe a beer kit. Wasn't here to hear it. But remember, he was gone. He left really early. He wasn't even around to hear it. As I wrote this, I wasn't sure if he'd be here. He might have already gone home to relax. 3 things in life you can always be sure of. Joe leaving early, death, and taxes. I should really make sure he's in the first few verses, but that's probably not early enough. Only one way to be sure he'll be here till the end. That's to chain him to the table with handcuffs. He probably won't like that. He'll fuss the whole time. He'll tell everyone I'm such a meanie. That's why I'm getting him the perfect gift, an escape artist toolkit by Houdini. Lock jigglers, plug spinners, and skeleton keys, tension tools and tubular lock picks. Electric pick guns and 3-knife coins, bobby pins, shims, and binder clips. Sandra, you went and bought a horse this year. A cute little guy named Chip. You should have stuck with a dog. They live right at home. They'll give you plenty of companionship. Wait, you did that too. You bought another dog. You've been acquiring things to eat. I wanted to add to your collection of animals. Here's a talkative Alexandrine parakeet. Where to go next? How about Sally? I know she doesn't drive much anymore. I'm going to buy you a ride that's not for everyone. It doesn't even have a door. Doesn't even have 4 wheels like a car, but trust me, it's perfect for her. Has a wheel and a seat. For safety, it's 1 star. It's a unicycle with its own chauffeur. Tisha was originally supposed to be here tonight. She's had quite the week and a half. With a fire in her building on December 12th, she could use some friends and laugh. Her unit was spared when the fire broke out, but since then the building's been condemned. It'll all be torn down just to build it back up. Maybe it'll be nicer in the end. I'll make sure of it. I'll oversee construction. It'll be grand. There's going to be a double deck. I'll use my skills as an artist and designer. I'm assigning myself as a principal architect. Her home before will be a shack comparatively. There's going to be some massive expansion. With a pool, jacuzzi, and some space for an army. I'm gifting her a 20,000-foot mansion.
Cute.
This next person surprised me when I heard he was coming. He's normally at his kid's Christmas Day. But I guess plans changed, at least for this year, so Uncle Ralph decided to come out our way. Uncle's always invited. There's an open door, but now I got to give him something good. It can't be cheesy. I respect him too much. I can't just give him some plywood. But what would he want? He's got all he needs. And this man's living his very best life. The last thing he wants is for me to screw that up and gift him another wife.
You're right.
I have just the right thing for this band-chasing man.
Okay,
It's not some
what do we got?
outfit that he'll wear. I'm giving him the talent and nimbleness of foot to dance just like Fred Astaire.
Amen.
Colton, I'll swing back around to you. I had a lot to say early on. You had quite a year with a life-changing event. Now you can just be Don Juan. He was a fictional character who seduces women. A wealthy Spanish libertine. As a person devoid of most moral principles, he would bet any woman he's seen. Maybe just be a cool, suave guy. One the ladies will see as desirable. And because of your mop top and scraggly beard and the looks of a 7, you're acquirable. I'll buy you an outfit that looks like Don Juan. It's going to take a little bit of cash. Here's some dueling pants and a swordsman shirt, a cavalier hat, and pirate sash. Maddie, let's turn our attention to you.
Please don't.
This section in the poem is a mission. You're a captivated audience with nowhere to go. You have to sit there and listen. You don't know what's coming, but I sure do. And it's not just some needless rhyming. No hiding with the team or ignoring ball timing. I've sent you some videos, Aunt Sammy has too, and I'm sure you've been shown by your coach. You have to start practicing by yourself at home and work on your hitting approach. A simple 3 steps, left, right, left, then exploding up for an attack. Hitting the blocker square in the face with a facial, also known as a 6-pack. But you gotta stop jumping off that damn right foot. You do it 100% of the time. It looks so awkward. You don't get full extension, your body is just all out of line. Just once I'd like to see you jump off your left and get all of your mechanics just right. That's why I'm gifting you commitment and desire with a top-notch work ethic tonight. Since I'm already talking about sports right now with volleyball as the spotlight subject, let's include Ari, who played right beside her, and see just what we can perfect. At the start of the season, they were both quite lost, not knowing the positions or their movement. As the season progressed, they got more comfortable, and we noticed some subtle improvement. Ari's a hustler. She dives for everything. Like her dad, she found her calling. But once in a while, a routine play would happen. You'd look over, and Ari was falling. It was a little bit much. She'd overdo it. She'd flail. It was all a bit puzzling. Then she'd wait on the floor for someone to see her and recognize it was just her hustling. Meanwhile, the play would continue on. She's lying there, taking a break. Then the ball is dumped. She jumps into action with a dolphin dive saving pancake. This is the glory she wants to set up. She makes it harder than it needs to be. To make it spectacular, she acts like a possum and waits till the last second to dive recklessly. Besides her hustling, whether real or contrived, she really wants to be a better hitter. She's gotten stronger and more controlled. She's been working. She's not a quitter. Here is something that will help you for sure. It's a 5-foot vertical leap. You'll jump so high that no one can stop you. Your spiking will make opponents weep. Speaking of weeping, I'm sure Mom's in pain. Her hip surgery can't come soon enough. She's slowly becoming our bionic woman. She's replacing her body with artificial stuff. Yeah. It seems that's the way our bodies work. Many people get to that stage. Our parts break down. They don't work as they should. It's probably getting up there in age. As a gift this year, we'll continue the transformation. I'll put wheels in your feet for speed. Your legs will open like holsters with tools, everything you could possibly need. We'll replace your stomach with a convection oven. You'll have to get used to the new look. Your hands will have knives and spatulas as attachments. You'll become our very own robo-cook. It's surprising Dad isn't bigger than he is, with as good as a cook as you are. He should be fat as hell after all these years, getting dinners that are 4 or 5 star. With robo-cook in action, expect that to change. He's about to put on a few pounds. Come summer for 2 days in training camp, he'll be trying out as a D lineman for the Browns. If you make the team as a 79-year-old man, the oldest ever in the NFL, you'd break the record by 31 years. I'd congratulate you and wish you well. In order to make sure you don't die out there, I have an idea to put on some bulk. Bought you a potion you can take before games to turn you into the Incredible Hulk. A shove over here, a throwdown over there. Every opponent will be inferior. Your ferocity, intensity, and competitiveness, as well as strength, will all be superior. You'll dominate on defense, getting sack after sack. You'll be the ultimate gamer. With 300 sacks in your only pro season, you'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I haven't talked about Dan all that much. He deserves a gift. All you can applaud. I'm giving him his wish to be a player on the Browns as the quarterback on the practice squad. Just for one play, that's all it will take, with Dad as the Hulk on the other side. You'll break through the line and hit Dan so hard you'll lay motionless just wishing you died. Don't think I forgot about Rachel either. They both go hand in hand. They'll be in the poem just because they're assholes, even if for holidays they're banned. Rachel's gift is a persona she'll take on. She'll be the ultimate reality show loser. She'll be the Bachelorette with 25 men, and each show, none of them will choose her. On Dancing with the Stars, she'll move like Bernie Kosar, awkward with 2 left feet. As a fashion designer on Project Runway, she won't know a seam from a pleat. On Survivor, she'll be the first voted off the island. On The Voice, we'll hear she can't sing. On Ninja Warrior, she'll trip into the water. On Hell's Kitchen, she'll burn everything. Enough about her. Let's move it along. To a sister-in-law I actually still care about. The homebody lady who doesn't like people. I'm talking about Pam, no doubt. I just found out a few weeks ago Pam has been reading a lot of erotic smut. I thought I'd help out and give a few suggestions, see if any of these will make the cut. Bared to You, Lover Awakened. It happened one summer, Wallbanger. Entwined with You, Gabriel's Inferno. Hot Ticket, Release Me, Beautiful Stranger. Seduced in the Dark, and Empire of Storms, Breaking Free, Beauty from Pain. A hunger like no other, a kiss of shadows, sweet surrender, feral sins, and bane. There's 18 books on your reading list. That should easily last all of next year.
Hand me that one.
But I'm worried about Tom as an innocent benefactor. At his age, it's a valid fear. These books are steamy, suggestive, and racy, passionate, torrid, and risque. And Pam can't help getting hot under the collar. That means more romps in the hay. Tom acts like he's good, but heart health is important. Doctor's orders once a week is the limit. It would have been less if not for your talent to always take less than a minute. The problem remains that Pam will be horny, and less romps means using lots of willpower. I don't think she can, so I'm here to help out. I'm gifting her a never-ending cold shower. Tom's disappointed. The wife's been cooled off, but I guarantee it's all for the best. I'm sure if you ask in a nice, kind voice, she'll let you touch one of her breasts. Don't wear it out for the busy winter ahead. With surgery, working's out of the mix. In January, Pam's picking up extra shifts on Prospect, turning some tricks. But Tom won't sit idle. His mind starts racing. There's people like thick, homely hands. He's a perfect guy with a pair of ugly mitts. He's opening an account on OnlyFans. He'll sell pics and videos of his hands to subscribers. Making lots of money can occur. So I'm gifting him a visit to Katie at Trey Chic to get a gentleman's manicure.
Dad, you can go to Oscar.
Jay's there thinking, hey, I wanted that. Why with men is there a double standard? We like pretty nails, press-ons, and polish. I wouldn't mind being pampered. Well, I gotta say, Jay, I didn't see that coming. I didn't know you felt so strong. So I got you a gift card at Belladonna Salon for a Brazilian wax while wearing a thong. Speaking of people I like to see in a thong, and I can do this for the rest of my life. With a sweater, a t-shirt, a sweatshirt on top, doesn't matter as long as it's my wife.
Like, please don't be me.
Now, of course she's embarrassed, or rolling her eyes, and that's partly sort of understood. But shouldn't I be attracted and like the look at her? By golly, I reckon I should. But now for a present that you love so much. It would keep you from being so tired. Wow, you just yawned. That's great. It has the potential to be over the top. You might find yourself constantly wired. No more McDonald's or Big B trips. No more of you screaming out, buy me. I bought a lifetime supply you'll never run out. I hooked you up with a coffee IV. Well, if you can get that, then I should get something cool. It'll probably cause a family feud. I don't like coffee and I don't want a tea drip. I'm going to go with the food. I've loved it all my life. It's easily top 5. It's a favorite amongst our family group. I dug a hole out back that doesn't have an end. It's a bottomless well of spinach soup. Now, most of you are thinking that I've got everyone. But if someone was paying close attention, they've waited patiently all of this time. Their name not getting even a mention. Her cousins were named one by one. And her sister, I had lots of fun. I purposely skipped her and waited till now. It's finally tea's time in the sun. Why did I wait all the way till the end? She might have thought her and I had some beef. That's not it at all. It just allows me to address how she likes to swoop in like a thief. Now, let me explain for those not aware. I have to set the scene. She stays in her room almost all day long on either her iPhone or tablet screen. Once in a while, she'll come downstairs, typically when she has hunger pains. If I'm sitting on the couch with a bowl of beef soup, she'll often snatch what remains. She comes around the corner and grabs my spoon, takes a bite or two to start. Praying I'm generous, she hopes for more. I give her the rest out of the kindness of my heart.
Stuck to it.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming, Jess.
Bye.
Bye, Jess. Nice meeting you. Hope we see you again.
Of course.
Oh, here I'm rubbing anything and it was a dog.
Right in the middle of the home.
At the end?
She has to go to.
I know.
Go back to her kid.
I'm almost done anyways.
I'll see you
How
soon.
long?
Like 2 minutes.
Oh, okay, we'll say that. I'll say
2 minutes.
Well,
Okay, I'll see you, brother. Take care.
If I've peeled an orange, cut up an apple, sliced a nectarine, pear, or peach, a slice or two gets snagged with a quick flyby as long as it's within her reach. And it's not just food, drinks are fair game. If I have a glass of orange juice or iced tea, if it's sitting unattended and Tegan's around, don't expect any of it left for me. It's worse for Sam, that's where it started. T likes to try different stuff. Sam will buy something she's excited to try. T always shows up, sure enough. She's waiting in the dark for food to show up, then comes in like a thief in the night, grabs the bowl or plate or glass from our hands, takes a sip or a slice or a bite. I figured once the gifts were all passed out, she'd know what she wants to steal. It's the spinach soup well, I have no doubt. Like me, she could eat it for every meal. I thought for her gift I'd give her something that was big enough we could share and be nice. I took the tallest grain silo in Zurich, Switzerland, the Swiss Mill Tower, and filled it with red rice. It holds 35,000 tons of grain. Imagine it with red rice instead. Between the spinach soup well and this much rice, we'll be full and merry when we're dead. The perfect meal will always be available. Though we'll eat other things than we should. But the soup and the rice and the well and silo, there when we want it, God is good. Speaking of God, as I wrap up this poem, another year where a record's been set. Christ is the reason we all have salvation. He was born just to pay our debt. If you don't believe or even know where you stand and faith just feels a bit odd, I'm praying today that he'll touch your heart. No preaching. I'm just giving it to God. Merry Christmas, Skillmans,
Hey,
Grandmas,
nice,
Malikas,
nice.
Dells, family, friends, visitors. Thank you for all coming. Merry Christmas,
Yay.
guys.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
That was good.
That was good.
That was funny.
I'm glad I stayed listening for it.